So I was discussing with Tom there, and I had quite a heated, I would say it wasn't a major disagreement, but we have a certain woman who I think, when it comes to COVID and what's gone on, he has a very different opinion from me about the governor of South Dakota. And I would like to watch a video, and you can then make your mind up whether you think that she's done a top-notch job as governor of South Dakota.
In North Dakota's largest city, masks are now required as the state grapples with a virus that has now claimed 1 in every 1,000 residents.
We didn't take COVID very seriously as a state as a whole.
I think we should have had a mandate a couple months ago to slow this thing down.
Bordering Manitoba with half the population, North Dakota has 10 times the infection rate.
If this virus hadn't been here, he would still be alive.
Manitoba-born 58-year-old Tony Lepke was a truck driver living in Fargo. His sister says he was taking precautions.
It's a serious, serious virus that we really need to get under control.
Among the reddest of red states, North Dakota largely put individual liberties ahead of collective health initiatives, only requiring masks once hospitals were overwhelmed. Neighboring South Dakota still is not.
There was a day last week where we hit actually 88% positivity.
As the warning of health officials meet resistance against broad public health restrictions.
I really feel that this country really needs to stand up for what it believes.
If people choose not to, we still should treat them with respect.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been criticized for downplaying the danger of the virus.
My people are happy. They're happy because they're free.
Meanwhile, gatherings in both states, like the 365,000 people at the Sturgis motorcycle rally last August, have led to outbreaks in other parts of the U.S. That closed border with Manitoba proving to be a critical line to keeping it from spreading. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
We invited Governor Noem to join us this morning, but she declined. But here to describe what she's seeing on the front lines in South Dakota is Jody Doring. She's a registered nurse who has called the coronavirus crisis in her state, quote, a horror movie that never ends. Nurse Doring, thank you so much for being here. When I read some of your tweets, my jaw dropped. You said that even now that the hospital is being overrun with COVID patients, they come in, they're horribly ill, they're gasping for breath, and yet they don't believe they have COVID?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to watch is that people are still looking for something else and they want a magic answer and they don't want to believe that COVID is real. And the reason I tweeted what I did is it wasn't one particular patient. It's just a culmination of so many people. And their last dying words are, this can't be happening. It's not real. And when they should be spending time FaceTiming their families, they're filled with anger and hatred. And it just made me really sad the other night. And I just can't believe that those are going to be their last thoughts and words.
Anger and hatred towards you?
I think it's just a belief that it's not real, and nursing happens to be on the receiving end of that. And that's okay. We can take that. That's what you're there for. It's just in the bigger picture when you try to reason with people of, can I call your family, your kids, your wife, your friend, your brother? And they say no, because I'm going to be fine. And you're watching their oxygen levels, maxed out on what we call vapotherm at 100%, and their oxygen level might be 75. That's not really that compatible with life. And we know where that's going to head. And it just makes you sad and mad and frustrated. And then you know that you're just going to come back and do it all over again. And that's kind of where that stemmed from.
How could it not make your own head explode? They're gasping for breath. Their oxygen levels are dropping. What do they think is wrong with them?
I think people look for anything. People want it to be influenza. They want it to be pneumonia. They want it to be, we've even had people say, well, I think maybe it might be lung cancer. Something so far-fetched. And the reality is, since day one, when COVID started in this area in March, you've kind of been able to say, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. Like, I hate to tell you that you have COVID, but that's what you have. even after positive results come back, some people just don't believe it. Now, that's not everybody. We have a lot of patients who are very, very grateful for their care and very thankful for what you do. But unfortunately, that's not what I'm remembering right now. And as my nursing career, that's not what I want to be remembering for. I want to remember the saves and the happy situations. And what I was remembering chilling on the couch the other night with my dog was not that.
Of course not. I mean, of course not. And it's just so mind-blowing to think that they would rather have lung cancer. They'd rather a diagnosis of lung cancer than of coronavirus. And so, I mean, you've said that it was, I mean, if I quote you from morning television, it's an effing horror movie that you live every day. And so what toll is this taking on you?
Yeah, hindsight, I didn't realize that this was going to go viral. I probably could have left the F-bomb out of there, but the reality is that's how you feel. And so it is like it's just a movie where the credits never roll. You just do it all over again. And it's hard and sad because every hospital, every nurse, every doctor in this state is seeing the same things. These people get sick in the same way. You treat them in the same way. They die in the same way, and then you do it over again. And we're so thankful for the lessons we've learned along the way, and we're doing a good job of taking care of the people that come in. And we're managing our patient loads here right now. Sometimes it's day to day, sometimes it's hour to hour. But the reality is that right now it's not getting better. You said just as you started the show, 50 to 60% positivity rate. I mean, our entire state has 880,000 people. It doesn't take much to do the math on that for how many of us are sick.
Kristi Noem, Governor of South Dakota. This is how we do social distancing in our state.
That was great.
Less COVID, more hunting. That's the plan for the future.
Less COVID, more hunting. That's the plan for the future. I think she's an animal. I actually think she's an animal. I respect Tom's opinion on loads of stuff here. We've discussed it with Tom Anderson, but on her, I can't agree. I think she's a reprehensible human being. She's an example of that rugged individualism where true grit, isn't she? She's a cowgirl. She appeals to the South Dakotans or South Dakotans. Is that it? I don't know. But she has said, basically, don't wear a mask if you don't want to. She does go with Trump on the, it's a bit pansy, it's a little bit weak to be seen wearing a mask. She never wears one. She goes along with Trump. She's not locked anything down. They have not done any lockdown whatsoever. They are the leading state, the leading area on planet Earth, not America, not even half the globe, the entire planet. South Dakota is leading in deaths, in COVID, and this week it has hit the high. It's going to the apocalypse, that state. Thank you for watching. I'm impressed. You've passed the IQ test and got this far, so let's press that button to do the last thing that helps us. It's got subscribe on it, you can't miss it, and please ring the bell for notifications of future videos.